Hello, my name is Marcus Williams with the Williams Consulting Group, where we provide customized investigations training, coaching, and support to help you prevent, prepare for, and respond to internal misconduct, whatever that may be. So I recently wrote an article, it's on my website, talking about what happens when an organization receives an allegation and then there's a strategy meeting after the fact to decide what are we going to do, and some of the inherent dangers or things that happen in that meeting that you should look out for. So I encourage you to go and read that. Kind of to follow along with that topic, today I want to talk about one of the major fears that drives decision making and drives bad decision making, and that is a fear of being sued. So as an investigator of over 20 years, in pretty much every assignment I've been in, I've had an attorney that I could call for legal advice. Whether that attorney was on staff, in the prosecutor's office, didn't matter. I had someone I could call. And in one of my assignments, the attorney that I had to call for legal advice, his philosophy, the question he asked before giving any legal advice every single time was, what course of action will prevent us from being sued? What course of action will prevent us from being sued? So he was asking us to guess a negative. That is not only the wrong question to ask, it was a dangerous question to ask, and that was borne out by some of the results of following that advice. And that's what I want to talk about. You can't prevent yourself from being sued. You can only do the right thing and handle or deal with a lawsuit when it comes. You can't stop someone from suing you. That question was based in fear. Where did that fear come from? There's probably a lot of different variables, but the thing that the attorney talked about a lot was court cases and news articles that he read where the company or the organization being sued lost the suit. And he therefore became afraid that we would automatically lose a lawsuit if we were sued. So what should we do to prevent us from getting sued in the first place? The problem with that fear is it was founded on false premises. The question he should have been asking is, why did these organizations lose the lawsuit? And that didn't require very much research. In every case that he cited, the organization either lacked a policy or didn't adhere to their policy, or two, there was a lack of training and or supervision on the investigator's part. Lack of a policy, lack of training. And the organizations should have lost. They did really stupid things, very obvious things on their face. They were easy cases. So that should have been the question of why were they losing these cases, and are we making those same mistakes? But that's not the question he was asking. The right question, or the right philosophy that he should have had was, does the proposed course of action follow our policy? The investigator comes and says, hey, this is what I want to do. Do you see any legal problems? He should ask, does this follow our policy? If the answer to that question is yes, then we move on to question number two. If the answer is no, go back to the drawing board. Question number two is, are we confident that we'll win the lawsuit when it comes? So if it follows our policy, are we confident we'll win the lawsuit? If the answer to that question is yes, then we have our marching orders. Go and do. If the answer to that question is no, then maybe we need to relook at the policy because we're not confident in defending our own policy, and that's the problem. So this attorney's philosophy caused him to give us legal advice based on fear. And what happened is he would claim exceptions to the policy in these cases. He would say, oh, well, we don't want to get sued, so this case is different, it's an exception, so let's go down this path instead. Well, now you're not following your policy. And that's where the danger comes in. That's where your risk and your liability occurs, is when you're not following your policy. There didn't need to be an exception to the policy, but that fear reaction caused him to panic and declare an exception. Like I said, in every case it bore out that it became a problem that we either had to fix or deal with later, because acting out of fear of being sued will never lead to the right decisions. And here's the other thing, your employees or the members of your organization can smell your fear. They know when you're afraid. They know when they have leverage, and they'll take advantage of that. That is when you're going to get sued, is when you're fearful. But when you're confident that you have a sound legal policy and trained investigators, they also can sense your confidence. They know that you're confident in defending yourself and that they don't have that leverage anymore. So confidence is what prevents lawsuits. Confidence and competence prevent lawsuits. Not reaction, not fearful reaction. So I hope this makes sense and I hope it helps. Please think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Contact me directly. I'd love to have a conversation about it. I'd love to talk to you or your organization about this. You can go to my website at williamsconsultgroup.com. And please subscribe to my channel for future videos. And like I said before, on my website, I have articles posted that you can read as well, and they're free. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you next time.